In this tutorial, we are going to see what are data types in Python. So let's go and see data types. Python data types are used to define the types of a variable. It defines what type of data we are going to store in a variable. The data stored in memory can be of many types. For example, a person's age is stored in numeric and his address is stored in alphanumeric. There are many built-in data types. The first one is numeric type, which is also known as scalar types, the data that contains only a single value. For this, let me just copy what is int. Let's copy and go. Sorry, here is my Jupyter notebook. Here I'm just copying. Click here out of the cell M. This is marked down. And here I'm going to use a variable for storing a single value, that is a number, a whole number. Shift enter. Now let's just see what A is having the data type actually. So inside the print statement, I'm going to use a function that is type, which takes an argument A, and then this is an hash operator, gives the data type. Here you can see it is int. So next, let me just give another example like 1234 in B. So actually here you can see the whole numbers example without a fractional part, decimal part. Then another, this is a negative number denoted by negative sign. So these are all scalar types, single value. So let's go, and the next is a float data type. So let me just copy and paste it for you so that we can see what is a float. Any real number with a floating point represents in which a fractional component is denoted by a decimal symbol. So let's take an example. So here x, and then I'm going to print the type of x. Type function, as you already know, returns a data type. So when you press shift enter, as you can see, there is a float, class float, built-in data type. Now we can have another example of another data type, which is a complex. A complex number is normally used in scientific calculations like mathematical calculation. Let me just read it, a number with a real and imaginary component. So we are going to have a variable which is going to have a real part, this is a real part, and then plus, after plus there is an imaginary j. As you can see, we are going to again print the type so that you can see what is the type of my x. That will give you a complex. And then here is a real part and this is an imaginary part with j. So let me take an example where I'm just going to change j to I, which will give me an error, invalid syntax. So we cannot use an I, we have to use j only for imaginary component in a complex number, which is a rule in Python. So please remember, you have to use j only, we cannot use any other variable. The next one is the bool data type, like boolean value, true and false. So let me just copy the statement and click here, M, then shift enter. Let me take a value for boolean. Boolean data is boolean true or false, capital T and capital false, or 1 or 0. It can be denoted by 1 or 0. So we have to give a condition like 12 is greater than 3. And if we call A, so there is a true value. So T, true or false. Notice by T and F are in capital. We cannot use small t. So let me just give you an example and show you the error here. So I'm going to take true and I shift enter. Here you can see I'm getting an error. Small t, true is not defined. And Python will throw an error, as you can see in my code. True means true and false means false. We can use 1 and 0 as well for true and false, denoting true and false for int value. So bool data type. So next one is none data type. None means nothing. So we will see this in function as well if you want. So let me just take m and then let me write x is equals to none. Capital N value, nothing. If we call it, there is nothing. As you can see, nothing is printed. I have called x to show you how none. So there is nothing. Here none is not printed. If I do shift enter for executing the cell. If I print x, then it will show you that it is having an n value. So here we completed the scalar data types. None, Boolean. In next lecture we are going to see text type, which will be str string and then sequence. Thank you.